Hi, this is Raj, your host on Unleashing Talent. I'm sure when you come out of corporates, many friends that you considered were friends, they never trusted you and you never trusted them. Now, let me give you a reference point Gallup's K12, and I'm sure many of you would have taken Gallup's K12 engagement survey. And there's one question that writes, do you have the best friend here? And you pause for a moment and you're not able to decide. You are responsible for the emotional level engagement of the employees, and you're responsible for fostering the culture of, uh, appreciation and a smile and friendship. Are you not, as a leader, responsible to ensure that you have a team and people within the team have some degree of relationship that is friendly? Do you, as the head of the organization, not want to create an engagement model where people, to a great extent, also have, friendly relationship? I'm just talking about friendly relationship at this stage because I know that the maturity level in the corporate is not gone to this stage where you can proudly say, I have friends. You may have preferences, and those preferences, to my mind, are actually biases because you like people who are of the same mindset. They have similarity in thoughts and they look alike and they think alike, and you consider them as your friends. No. So let me give you the first message. The first message is that the friendship means it gives you the trust. When you consider someone as a friend, it is someone whom you can trust. And I'm not talking about the calculative, manipulative trust, which in corporate we call it a smart trust as much as no. Friendship is all about trusting, and that's it. The first thing, it gives you the trust. Number two, you learn as a value system. The biggest one is the relationship. It is a relationship which has not been defined in the world, but this relationship works. I'm sure if you meet your childhood friends, 5 of them today, that will be the best time for you. So trust and relationship and sharing. Now, sharing is what we talk about positive psychology, and we talk about stress management. How do we manage stress? You go and read all the books written on the stress management, from positive psychology to PERMA model to Martin Seligman and Daniel Goleman and Robert Boaz's, or all of these people talk about positive psychology. And when they talk positive psychology, they talk about relationship as one of the most critical pillars of a happy and contented and a stress-free life. Now, what does that mean? You can have friendship with your parents, with your kids, with your siblings. Whenever in any formal relationship, when you inject the elements of friendship, the relationship becomes trustworthy. It becomes shareable. It becomes something that gives you a lot of satisfaction. Think of these 3 elements. Number 1, how it builds trust. And number 2, how it builds great relationship, positive relationship. Number 3, how it influences people behavior that in turn leads to developing positive culture in the organization. Understand the value of fostering a culture, a friendly culture, a culture where your employees can trust one another. Teams can trust one another to the extent they become friendly and they start sharing. You as business leaders are going to benefit. The business is going to benefit. People will remember you for this, and you will remember yourself for this, and the organization will remember people for this, because you fostered that culture, and that takes a little bit of effort. So the next question, how do you do that? Now, next time when you walk into the meeting and you're talking to your people in the team, tell them that you want them to develop a friendly and cordial relationship. You may have certain questions, Raj. You're talking all this, psychology and philosophy and friendship. How does this translate into the monetary gains or to the organization? So we all know that the engagement has direct relationship with organizational performance. If your 30% employees are actively disengaged, that means 30% of your production and performance within the organization has a big question mark. Now, out of those 30%, if you foster the cordial, friendly relationship in the organization where people feel like coming, they feel like working, they feel like meeting, when they go back to their home, they feel like coming back to the work, and they talk to their families and their kids and their friends. I'm working in an organization. I'm sure if you made friendship in the corporates, you still remember that guy and you can trust that guy. So by developing trust, relationship, and positivity through unleashing, let me remind you, through unleashing the power of building friendly work culture, and it will have direct impact on your engagement. So your engaged employee would become more engaged, disengaged will move into the engagement zone, and it has direct. Another example, if you want me to talk about, could be if your employees are disengaged, 30% of them are engaged. Now, if you don't believe me, go back and look at your engagement survey and look at the percentage of people who are in disengaged level. And if they are 30%, I can tell you that 50% of them would leave the organization very, very soon, because they are disengaged not because of themselves. They are disengaged because they have a disconnect with the organizational culture, values, and probably some of the leaders, and they're finding that friendly environment somewhere else, and as a result they would leave this organization eventually, and you will have to hire people, and you will have to spend more money, and you would again do the same thing and the same thing and the same thing. So I want you to understand the value of fostering friendly culture in the organization, and how you could maximize your profitability and how you could maximize your customer satisfaction. Also understand, if your employees are friendly and one is facing the customer, and that guy needs some advice, that guy needs some knowledge and information, he could reach out to other guys who are more experienced than he or she is, and they can immediately get the information and pass it on to the customer. That would happen when you have that friendly, cordial culture as a value within the organization. Well, I would like to express my gratitude and thankfulness to Ahsan Siddiqui, who is the FMCG leader operating from Kuwait. And I also would like to express my gratitude and thanks to Mr. Mukhtar Hussain, who is currently based out of Zambia. And he also insisted if I could do a podcast on friendship and how the culture of friendship in the organization can enhance the employee engagement. I would also like to thank Mr. Shanawaz Rizvi. He is based out of National Capital Region in India. Thanks a lot to all the three leaders. Hope you enjoyed this podcast. Thank you, and bye-bye.